You gotta make sure you put yourself in the best positions, like in life, but it gotta be genuine. So, in any position you want to see yourself in life, you gotta do it very genuine and honest. Like, even when it comes down to like relationships, most of the earthlings that live on this planet don't even get into a situation because they actually like the person. It's either because they got some type of gain, something pleasurable, but it ain't ever because they actually truly like the person. Because to truly like somebody, like to truly deeply like somebody, you gotta truly deeply like yourself. And a lot of individuals are confused about who they are. So they just get with anybody that matches their level of confusion. And then they get with the person, and then they start actually becoming like clear over time because they have dished out so much of the confusion on the person that they're leaving that other person confused. And then they gain some form of, I guess, confused clarity because it's still confused, but it's a clear confusion. And then they wind up thinking like, all right, I don't need this person anymore because I did or got everything or anything I wanted to do with them. And then they leave and then try to go replicate that with someone else, something new, and thinking that that something new is going to bring something new, but that something new only brings something old. And that's like the vortex of it. When you're dealing with something old or older, in a sense of building partnership, relationship, friendship, companionship, and those essence, that always could bring something new, but something new always could bring something old. And most of the times it does, because usually that something new, you aren't new enough for that new. Like, you're not even a new person. Wow, that sounds beautiful. New person. Like, new person. Like, that term is not even used frequently. New person. I'm a new person. I'm a new person. And since you're not a new person for that new situation, then you end up just being an old thing to something new. And then that something new has to move on to something newer. And that just don't apply to a person. That applies in business or anything. So don't reinvent yourself, or don't try to fix an old system or old tradition that's broke. That makes no sense, because if you're fixing something that's broke, you only make it broken. You're only adding to the brokenness. So don't fix something. Instead, just create something. Create who you want to be. But actually let that thing be who you actually are. Don't create a persona, because you've done so many of those and they never work out. Create who you actually are, meaning show who you truly are. And that's creation within itself. That's the art of creation. Showing who you truly are and actually having like a bottomless confidence in that. A confidence that knows no boundaries, and being like completely, definitely okay with that. Like, not not letting anything matter to your confidence, or to the form of you accepting yourself. And that's how you'll find like basically true peace. Like, with just that first step. Acceptance. So this whole message is truly about acceptance and actually doing something genuine, because you have to get tired of getting fake results. You got to be tired of being a loser, of losing consistently and consecutively, defeat after defeat after defeat in your life. And it's like you keep ending up in the same situations with a different person, but then you find out that you still the same person in those same situations, pretending to be a different person. Like, that type of defeat over and over has to tremendously kill you. And then so much of that doubt and questioning yourself over and over, it actually destroys any ego you might have, any confidence you might have left. It destroys it. Doubt kills confidence. So you lost all your trust in yourself, and then in that essence you lost all your trust in anything you believed in, your dreams, your visions, your goals. So your only trust comes off of a form of dependency, off of a form of believing that something external, that something outside of you knows better than you. So you might just depend on your partner, your spouse, your friend, whoever that may be, and your job. And you depend on those things so wholeheartedly that they actually have the power to uplift you or destroy you at will at any moment. So if they do something great for you, it's going to uplift you. If they do something that's not so great for you, it's going to break you down. They actually have the power to control how you feel. They have the power to control if you get angry, if you're happy, or if you feel in between, or whatever the emotions you may feel. And they actually have the power because you lost trust, and then you also don't have acceptance. And you're so afraid to truly believe in yourself because you're confused about who you are, so you don't know what to believe about yourself or with yourself, because you have no relationship with yourself because you were so eager to have a relationship with everything but yourself. So you can't be physical no more, meaning you can't indulge in a physical existence. You have to indefinitely go into a spiritual essence. You have to have a spiritual foundation for yourself and of yourself, about yourself. And then that's when you start creating a book. That's how books created, when you start having something of yourself, with yourself, about yourself, for yourself. See, that's chapters right there. You start writing a book because you haven't even written a book yet. Like, your life isn't even a story yet. You might feel it's a story. You might feel it's heavy. You might feel like what you went through is the most relevant thing in the universe, but it's actually not. It's not even a paragraph. It's not even a haiku poem. It's not even just a first line at all. It's not even a heading. You barely even just wrote a line in your life. You still at a decimal point. And that's how much work you have to do, that you're at a decimal point in your life. So you got so much work to do because you need to write a page. And after you write a page, you need to write a whole chapter. And after that chapter, you got to write a whole book. So your journey ain't done. Like, forget thinking about killing yourself, just even thinking about it. It's like, it ain't gonna do nothing. It's just a thought. That's just you crying out for help and feeling like nobody's listening or hearing you. So you feel like the only way you could get attention is by either thinking or committing an act of suicide. But you never actually really go through with that because you even give up on that because it's not truly what you want to do. You just truly want to be heard and seen, but you can't be heard and seen when you never even seen or heard yourself before. You don't even know your actual real voice. You don't even know how you actually feel because you've been mimicking other people's identities, feelings, visions, and the way that they see things and the way that they identify in life, that you actually became who they are. You were just literally a physical carbon copy of something and someone else. So for you to be crying out attention for identity that's not even yours, that should show you how bizarre your world is. So just start with just basic being honest, like telling the truth about something you've been lying about for so long. And lie, it just means that you're just not being honest to yourself. It don't even have nothing more to do with someone else. It's about you. You've been lying to yourself, meaning that you've been making up things about yourself that you don't even believe is true. So start by just telling the truth, just being open about something that you wouldn't normally be open about, and then go from there. Go by layers and layers of doing that. And each layer you go through, that's a wall that you're breaking through. Another wall you're breaking through. Another wall you're breaking through. And then you'll get down to that bottomless pit that you had yourself sitting in for so long. And you'll be able to look yourself in the face and deal with your unprettiness and deal with your ugliness and deal with all the things that you hate about yourself. And then out of that essence, that true form, that play, that role and drama that you're doing on that stage in that bottomless pit and that empty void that you left yourself in. I think, in fact, I may be sure, in fact, that I can be certain about this, that you will find something about you that's truly beautiful. And then you could take just that small thing and you could use that for the rest of eternity. You could use that forever, for the rest of your existence. And when that happens, if you decide to take that path, say thank you. Because you saved your life. Yeah. Say thank you. I'm done.